Yes, they did, and I was doing the same exact thing. As soon as we got to the commercial break, and the Hawks were still on the board, I knew that we were either going to have some extreme heartbreak or get this number one pick. It was a very long commercial break. I think that was the longest commercial break I think I've ever watched in my entire life. Um, you talk about when the card turned over, Johnny. Just a pure moment of joy as a Blackhawks fan. We entered this rebuild. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. There were moments down the stretch. We were on this show. You and Ron were giving me a little shit for wanting to win some games because we wanted the best overall odds. I still got to enjoy those victory beers. And we're still talking about getting to pick Connor Bedard, number one overall in the NHL draft. That's what it's all about. I'm feeling fantastic right now. I cannot be. I can't even express how happy I am with this.
Yeah, so you said that you were able to still enjoy those, and then now we're still getting here to enjoy this, which will be something that we can enjoy for the long haul, right? But luckily, we were able to do that because it was luck. Like I just said in my open there, that was all you could do was sit and hope, wait and watch because we knew the odds. Well, let's run it down. Coming into the draft lottery after everything was finalized at the end of the regular season, the Blackhawks were guaranteed a top 5 pick, but 11.5% chance to land number 1. Same goes for number 2, 11.5% chance, 7.4% for number 3, which is kind of weird because it was actually where they were, but they have to account for other teams being able to slot up, right? 40.7% for number 4. That's where I thought we were going to go. That was in my heart, just playing percentages here. And number 5 pick, 28.8%. Those are the odds coming in. So part of those 11.5, all worked out for the Blackhawks in this one. So on pins and needles, to say the least, leading up to this thing. But Tony, one thing I want to, like I said, it is all luck, but you talked about getting able to enjoy those victory beers. And part of why we were still able to do that during the season was because Luke Richardson has instilled a culture, right, within the Blackhawks. And now you can go and say, yeah, this doesn't have anything to do with it. And I can't make a general connection to it. But you go and watch in some hockey games and the hockey gods being in control of things, right? You go and look at that Vegas Edmonton game tonight. There's a goal called off for Vegas, even though they're dominating all night. Well, guess what? Next time down on the rush, they score, puck don't lie, all of that kind of stuff. The hockey gods controlling that. Blackhawks did it the right way. Whereas the Ducks, Blue Jackets look fucking absolutely disinterested at times. There were times where they just would not back check. They would not do the extra little effort plays during a game, and that would ensure some losses. And yeah, it gave you some better odds in the ping pong ball system. But in the hockey gods' minds, the Blackhawks doing things the right way were rewarded for it. That's my take on it.
That's well said, Johnny, and I love that. I thought at certain times the Blackhawks were going to put themselves in a position throughout this past season to be in a spot where you may not get to pick in that top 3. And that was very real for a couple of moments. And a lot of that has to do with what you just talked about, the mentality that Luke Richardson has instilled in this team. We talked on our end of the season show about how Luke Richardson's system and all the positives that he's brought to this club in his first year are going to pay dividends. Now he gets to work with a guy like Connor Bedard, a generational talent. Man, that's got me pretty high on the Hawks right now, Johnny. And you talk about the hockey gods working in our favor here for doing the right things and all of that. Hey, man, I can buy into what you're saying here. I can buy into it big time because this is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's kind of like karma, right? And I just look at performances and all the discussion that's been had about tanking, right? And our team's really tanking, and is management really wanting that team to tank? And sure, you want your best odds for picks and all that stuff, but players and coaches, are they tanking? And like I said, at times it looked like that was the case for the Anaheim Ducks, Clubs, Blue Jackets. For the Blackhawks, sure, there were a couple games they got pummeled in, but it was kind of more just a lack of talent. Like Jason Dickinson was still going out there and killing penalties, even if they were losing 4-1 in a game, right? Like we were like taking shifts off, no shortcuts, any of that shit. So that's just kind of my, universal kind of bringing it all in here take on that. But let's talk about who's going to be coming to Chicago. Connor Bedard, come on down, man. Unanimous consensus, number 1 overall pick. No doubt. I know we have to say presumably whenever we're writing about this and stuff, but we all know it's going to happen, right? We all know it's going to be Connor Bedard. This has been known for the last at least 2 years. NHL Central Scouting has projected him out even that far out there. And man, we go and look at a guy like Connor Bedard, just an absolute monster in juniors, playing for the Regina Pats. 143 points this year, Tony, in 57 games, 71 goals, 72 apples. Oh, and guess what? He also added 20 points in 7 playoff games. His team was eliminated in 7-game series, but hey, the 20 points is one of the few players who scored 10 goals in a 7-game series like that. Just incredible stuff. Connor Bedard is a generational talent, like you said, and I couldn't be more excited to see him wearing the Indian head sweater in the future.
I mean, don't look at a lot of players last 5 games and see 5 goals and 7 assists, and then go look at their last 10 games and it's 12 goals and 11 assists. That's 23 points in his last 10 games. He's finding the back of the net. He's finding ways to score. You can just type in Connor Bedard in your Google search bar and pull up some of the most ridiculous shit that you're going to see on ice right there in front of your eyes. And that's going to come to the United Center. And that's one of the reasons why he gets the title of Phenom. That's why he gets the generational player tag right on him right here. This is going to change the course of the next 10 years of Blackhawks hockey by winning this draft lottery. I can't imagine how most other fan bases feel when they look at this, Johnny, and we're going to get a lot of hate for this from a lot of other fan bases. They're going to be jealous. Yeah. They're going to be jealous. You had Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, you had the Cup era runs, and now you've got a tremendous amount of salary cap space to play with, and you are going to add a guy that can step in here that other players are going to want to come and sign with the Chicago Blackhawks to play with right out of this draft. That is best case scenario for the Chicago Blackhawks. I cannot be more excited about it, but it's also let's sit here and talk about this in a sobering fashion. If it wasn't this, I still think we would have been in a good position to bring on a guy like Fantilli. There was other options. It might have taken a little bit longer, but I do really think this speeds things up, Johnny. I think this speeds the rebuild up. You can look at the numbers of what the Hawks have sold tonight that's been tweeted out there by Ben Pope, Darren Ravel. I think it was close to $2.5 million in season tickets tonight. This is really going to speed this thing up. Free agents are going to want to come here this summer to play with Connor Bedard.